Let's move on to markets. Stock market, just kind of like we said, just kind of like trudging along and waiting for more deals to happen. Just not much, kind of a nothing burger really right now. Just kind of trudging along there. And then gold as well, just kind of like treading water, up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit, as it looks for direction in the, like depending on what happens with this Russia thing, this gold could explode to the upside if that thing escalates, obviously. But right now, it's definitely looking for a direction. It's right now currently off about like $10, just under the 3,300 mark. And a Bitcoin holding that line, and then Donald Trump's DJT says that they're going to put about, I think we talked about that yesterday, put about $2.5 billion into the Bitcoin. And it's holding well over that $100,000 mark, which if it holds that for a while, it likely could spring quite higher because it's a new territory. Right now, when you get something in new territory, the sky's the limit. So, it could see that gap there, like that head and shoulders thing. You could see a, like a $20,000, $30,000 move in Bitcoin if you're just looking at it from a technical perspective. But again, wind in the sails for Bitcoin for sure. There's a lot of wind in the sails as opposed to headwinds, in which the former, it said, I think one of the guys on, they were saying that Elizabeth Warren had access to that auto pontoon, was writing regulations against the Bitcoin. The Canadian
That'd be quite
dollar.
hard to prove. I'd be interested to know if that was possible to prove.
Was it cash for access to the auto pen? You want to write an executive order? Bring in a suitcase? I don't know. It seems odd that you would have an auto pen that was being utilized by so many people, accordingly or allegedly, to write executive orders and that and issue pardons and that. I think that's. Here's the thing: Jake Tapper and that Alex said that this scandal it could likely be bigger than Watergate. And it's bigger than Watergate, they said, because at least Richard Nixon had his faculties about him when he wasn't, they said, when he wasn't drinking. But so now Jake Tapper
Richard
is
Nixon
trying to,
was very, very smart, I would say. Whatever you think about his deeds, he was a very sharp character.
So Jake Tapper is now trying to compare himself to, what was the name of the two reporters that broke the Watergate story? It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Woodward and Bernstein, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. They broke that. Now Jake Tapper thinks he's the next. The two of them think they're the next Woodward and Bernstein. And he's out there smiling now like he's the one that cracked the case. And he forgets all the time, unless he's on Megyn Kelly's show, that he was complicit in this. But he selectively forgets that when he's on friendly networks. It's like he's the one that broke the story and he's taking all the credit. He's the next Woodward and Bernstein. I'm just trying to find and I got to get this last. Alex, he's from, I think it's AP, right?
Thompson, isn't it? Is that his name?
Yeah, I think you're right there. Yeah. It's they wrote the book Original Sin, and they're on a media tour. They're really flogging it. CNN is really flogging. You think CNN is in on the book and getting some profit off that book? I guess it helps the network get some credibility back as well.
Published by Penguin.
There you go.
It's basically the biggest publisher in the world. So
I was just going to say that was Batman's arch enemy. A bad attempt at humor. There you go. The Penguin.
I mean, it is the goal. I'm just looking at it now. I'm looking at the cover with like Biden with hands over his eyes. The goal of somebody from the Associated Press and somebody from CNN to do that. I mean, it's
so Alex pitched the book. Alex pitched the book earlier, and he got turned down. So not till he teamed up with Jake Tapper did it work out for him.
I guess it was a win-win from the Democratic perspective, because if Kamala had won, this would have been a way to justify the coup within the Democratic Party to get rid of Biden. Because they would have said, look, he was off his rocker. It's great that we've got Kamala and that we orchestrated that undignified toppling of Biden. And obviously, if if Trump won, then they could sort of cleanse themselves, couldn't they? Cleanse themselves of that era.
We got a little video here of Lou buying those 28 Hudson Bay store leases. Let's play that little clip here.
Congratulations, everybody! Yay!
这是 Ruby 的，或者是你。
There you go. She's a social media monster too. She's a Chinese immigrant that came from poverty before building a commercial real estate empire. Like, she's a billionaire now. She owns 3 shopping malls in BC, and she signed that deal. And in 1994, she started with the, I'm going to get these pronunciations wrong, Yijing Investment Development Company, and then sold it to a sub or whatever. And yeah, Shenzhen, one of those cities in China that just sprung up out of nothing and turned into this absolutely. You got to go watch some YouTube videos on that city in China. There you go. She sold that to a real estate trust in 2019 for $1 billion.
And now she's taken over Hoodie B leases and playing beer pong by the looks of things.
I was just going to say, like, you know, that Red Solo Cup song comes to mind there too, right? Champagne out of Red Solo Cups. There you go.
But it's, you know, I mean, it's an interesting one. You're talking about like Shenzhen and all that, and all these Chinese megacities. We don't really, I mean, I don't know, how does that compare with Hudson's Bay? It's like, we don't have anything like that in Canada, obviously. So I don't know. I don't know what her ideas are. I wait to see. I'm eager to learn.
They said that, I think they said that they're going to have the brand where the bay goes underneath her name or something like that. So definitely. She did that Mark Carney signing thing there, though, but she was actually signing real documents there.
that had far more consequence than anything Mark
She was
Carney
actually
signed.
signing documents that had yellow stickies on them that had to be signed. There you go.